A fundamental risk is one that is impersonal both in its origin and consequence. One individual does not normally cause the losses that flow from fundamental risk, and their effect generally falls on masses. Fundamental risks that arise out of the nature of the society we live in are largely uninsurable, and those that arise due to some physical occurrence depend for their insurability on the circumstances. In personal risk, there are four basic types of risk which a person faces. There is a vast market for insuring such risk like premature death, dying too early, dependent old age, dying too late, sickness or disability, and unemployment. Next is property risk. Direct and consequential losses arising from usage of various kinds of property, which may take different forms such as loss or damage to property, loss of use of property, and additional expenses occasioned by the loss of property. Liability risk arise out of human mistakes, often termed as civil wrongs committed by a person, resulting in injury and or death to another person, and or loss of or damage to property. Risk arising due to failure on part of another person to meet a specified obligation. For example, guarantee bonds and sureties. Risk arising due to dishonesty of employees and others in course of performance of their duties, causing loss of money and stocks to the owner. Use of transport vehicles opens scope for two types of risk: own damage or loss to the vehicle due to a variety of pure risk including negligence. The second risk is death or injury to third parties and loss or damage to their property. Management of risk is concerned with direction of purposeful activities towards the achievement of individual or organizational goal. Risk management may be defined as the identification, analysis, and economic control of those risks which can threaten the assets or earning capacity of an enterprise. Risk management is of vital importance in modern business or trade and human activities. It is essential for not only prevention of risk but also for reduction of risk. It leads to maximum social advantages. It plays a significant role in bringing about social, political, and economic development in a country. Risk management is a management process. It helps in preserving the operating effectiveness of the organization. Risk management facilitates an organization in the avoidance of a great financial loss resulting into bankruptcy. Methods of risk management are: first, prevention or avoidance of risk. Risk is avoided when the individual refuses to accept the risk even for an instant. This is accomplished by merely not engaging in the action that gives rise to risk. The avoidance of risk is one method of dealing with the risk, but it is a negative rather than a positive technique. Personal advancement of the individual and progress in the economy both require risk-taking. Reduction of risk. Risk may be reduced in two ways. The first is through loss prevention and control. There is almost no source of loss where some efforts are not made to avert the loss. Safety programs and loss prevention measures such as medical care, fire departments. Shifting or transferring of risk. Risk may be transferred from one individual to another who is more willing to bear the risk. Accepting or resuming risk. Risk retention is perhaps the most common method of dealing with risk. As previously noted, the individual faces an almost unlimited array of risk. In most cases, nothing is done about them. When the individual does not take positive action to avoid, reduce, or transfer the risk, the possibility of loss involved in that risk is retained.